Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the St Edmunds School Virtual Open Morning. My name is Edward O'Connor, and I'm the head of St Edmunds. If you don't know us, the school is located just on the edge of the historic city of Canterbury. In fact, we have 65 acres of beautiful parkland and some lovely historic and modern buildings. We overlook the city of Canterbury with its cathedral and rich cultural life. And we also have an amazing range of facilities, from a state-of-the-art theatre for drama, a music recording studio, amazing sports facilities with a sports hall, swimming pool, tennis courts, and an all-weather sports surface. So we're very fortunate in where we are and very fortunate in the facilities that are available for our young people. It's also important to note that we're in effect 3 schools in one location. A pre-prep school headed by Julia Exley, a junior school headed by Andrew De Silva, and a senior school starting at year 9 and going through to 6th form, which is led by me. And I have overall responsibility for the strategic direction of the school. I just wanted to say a quick word about our unifying ethos and what makes this 3-school structure work so effectively. We have a common philosophy that goes back to our foundation in 1749. And the basis of that is a nurturing approach to the education of young people. We believe that if people feel happy and secure at school, then they'll be able to take advantage of all the amazing opportunities that are available here. So a nurturing approach is critical. We also believe in a holistic attitude towards education. The pursuit of academic excellence is obviously essential, but we also want to develop the so-called soft skills, leadership, communications, teamwork in our young people, so they're fully equipped to succeed in the outside world. And finally, the basis of all of this is the strength of working relationships between teachers and pupils. Small classes, dedicated specialist teachers create an atmosphere that's fit for learning and for a joy in education that isn't always usual in some schools. So that's enough from me. You're now going to hear from some of the people that lead St Edmunds and make it such a fantastic institution, starting with Julia Exley, the head of our pre-prep. Enjoy.
Welcome everyone. Our pre-prep consists of 4 classes: nursery, reception, year 1 and year 2. We're situated in the middle of the whole school in our own secure area. We benefit from the facilities and the expertise of the junior school and the senior school, who often come to support us in our activities. We have small class sizes of between 10 and 14 children, supported by a teacher and a teaching assistant. This allows us to give lots of individual attention and provide an almost bespoke education to each child.
I've been a teacher for 12 years at St Edmunds Pre-Prep, and what's really special about St Edmunds is that the children and the teachers are encouraged to be as creative and imaginative as possible. So all of our lessons, whether French, maths or phonics, are presented in a really creative and fun way. Our art lesson here, for example, in our forest school, where the children are doing some land art, is a perfect example. And best of all, I get to hang out with these guys.
I'm very proud of my staff. They're dedicated, experienced and inspirational. They work really hard to provide the best education and environment for children to learn. Over recent months they've had to change their teaching styles and present work in different ways for our remote learning.
I love learning about the world, and we learned about the oceans today in the dragonflies. Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And Southern Ocean, Pacific Ocean.
Hi, I'm in the pre-prep. I really love the school. My favourite things are, let me think. My teacher is very kind and gives me good challenges, especially in art. My friends are kind and help me. And the food is very nice, especially the fish fingers. The puddings are also quite good. I want to show you 2 badges. I am a monitor and a prefect. Bye, thanks for watching.
I love doing maths. I'm really good at taking time.
What time is it?
7:15.
Good girl. The children are happy, have fun, learn a great deal and make some lovely friends. The majority of the children transfer seamlessly into the junior school where they can continue the education at St Edmunds. I hope you found this useful and I look forward to answering your questions later. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrew De Silva. Why would your child flourish here at the junior school? Well, simply really. We are a school of about 200 pupils. So with that 200 pupil number, we are small enough to know and love and cherish your child and provide them with as bespoke an educational provision as possible. But also we're large enough to really benefit from the 3 to 18 sense of the school, with all that brings in terms of facilities and settings, etc. So we are a school that has so many areas where children can flourish, whether drama, music, art and sport. So if we pick one of those, yes, we are a school that educates the boy choristers of Canterbury Cathedral. But does that mean we are defined by that? No, because our vision is to provide outstanding learning opportunities for all pupils. Whether they're musicians, whether they are fantastic footballers, whether they are passionate about art and creative design. Our job as educational practitioners is to take them on in their learning, and that's something that we are really excited by. So how do we do that? Well, I've already mentioned the excellent setting and resources. As Mr. O'Connor said, being a mile away from Canterbury gives us that wonderful sense of distance from the city centre, but also provides us with the most glorious view of the cathedral and the city. But it gives us the wonderful outdoors that we've got, and that's a really wonderful provision for us to have. We have excellent transition, as you would expect from a school that is 3 to 18, on the same site. And that's quite unique for us, certainly compared to some of our competitors. We are on the same site, which means that your child will have practitioners from across the school teaching them at various times, not just in their chronological school setting. So for example, our year 7s and 8s have an elite provision, which is of course taught by some of our junior school practitioners and specialists, but also the senior specialists. So when they have that transition to year 9 or lower 5th, as we call it here, it's seamless. And the one barrier that they've got to focus on is just the teaching and learning, the new learning that they've got to achieve. So that's really successful for your child. And of course we have excellent teachers. But don't take it from me, take it from some of our parents. So at a recent webinar, a couple of parents talked about our remote learning offer, and they said the remote learning has been very polished and impressive. Remote learning has been exceptional. So I've mentioned the word excellent and exceptional quite a bit. Does that mean we are the finished article for learning? Does that mean we're the finished article for school? No, we're not, because your child's not part of our journey. And what we need is, as a school, we are constantly learning, constantly evolving, and we want your child, and indeed yourselves, to be part of that journey. So I look forward to answering your questions shortly, but in the meantime, it's been wonderful to speak to you all. Thank you.
Hello there, my name is Joseph Pellett. I'm the head of the upper school here at St Edmunds. Excuse the wings behind me. So St Edmunds, it's not just a school, it's a lifestyle choice for both the children and the teachers. It's an investment of time and effort, resulting in the children becoming the best versions of themselves. We here strive to take the children on a journey, and trust me, they take us on a journey as well, to make sure they come out being positive, well-rounded, confident members of the community here at St Edmunds and their local communities as well. Thank you.
Since joining St Edmunds in September 1998, I've watched the school make many changes to make sure that the education they provide is the best it can be. However, the one thing that has never changed in all of these years is the fact that there's a very special family atmosphere here at St Edmunds, and it's actually really hard to put into words. But I think it all starts in the classroom, where we have small class sizes and the teachers get to know the children really well, and I think this is then helped by all the clubs and activities that we run. Also, because we go from 3 to 18, we get to see the children around the school site, so we might teach them in year 5, say, and then we see them when they're 18, and they love to catch up with us and tell us what they've been up to. But however, don't take it from me, we've got 2 people here today who are going to tell you what it's like to start at St Edmunds. Maggie and Lottie joined us in September, and they're going to talk to us about what school life has been like ever since. So over to you, Maggie.
When I joined, I was a bit nervous, but when I came in, everyone was really kind, all the pupils, all the teachers. I really was excited to come to St Edmunds for the academic challenge, but in the lessons, if I get stuck, it's okay because the teachers are always there, and even when I'm doing prep, the teachers will still be there to help me, and yeah.
Brilliant, thank you, Maggie. What about you, Lottie?
I was quite nervous in September at the start because I didn't know how it was going to be. When I actually came here, it was fine because everybody was so lovely, and the teachers are really nice, and the pupils are really lovely, and I really love the drama here because I really love drama, and I love the drama, and outdoor education was really fun.
Brilliant, thank you, girls. Great.
Hello, my name is Dylan. Since joining St Edmunds at the beginning of Year 6, I have greatly enjoyed my time here. After only half a year, I joined the choristers of Canterbury Cathedral. Boarding has been a wonderful experience that I will miss when I leave at the end of the coming year. Choristers have to work very hard, but we always feel proud of what we do. We are privileged in so many ways. We sing in the cathedral and benefit from the amazing singing and instrumental teaching. My personal favourite experience was singing in Calais in the beautiful Notre Dame Church. The atmosphere in school is very comforting. The teachers are all very friendly and helpful, and you never feel alone. The academia in the school is very noticeable, and the lessons are well taught, and there are several different levels in each set, so not everyone is doing the same work, but everyone is being pushed to work the hardest they can. As well as the core subjects, the school has many other classes, such as music, drama, art and sports. These make the school so much more interesting, and there are so many opportunities in each subject. There are also many co-curricular activities, like school trips, charity fundraisers, and the fantastic school council, which I was lucky to get voted into this year. Not just the teachers make the atmosphere comfortable though. The other pupils are also there, and there is no doubt that you will make friends, and those friends will stay with you forever, like this school. Thank you.
St Edmunds Senior School is an exciting and dynamic place to work. I've been here for 7 years now, and I've loved every minute of it. Academically, our approach is based on 3 principles. Firstly, a broad curriculum which enables individual choice and pupil development. Secondly, expert teaching from our team of highly committed and talented professionals. And thirdly, importantly, small class sizes that enable pupils to build subject confidence and really develop their individual talents. This translates into excellent public examination results. Last year at GCSE, we achieved a 98% pass rate, and our top sets enjoyed an 82% A star to A or 9 to 7 grade return. Really exciting results and what was expected from a very talented year group. In fact, we had 2 students who achieved an amazing 19 grade 9s between them, putting them amongst the most successful pupils in the entire country. There was a similarly successful story at A level. We achieved a 100% pass rate, and in terms of grades A star to B, we achieved 76%, a remarkable return from another very talented group of young people. 2 students went on to Oxford University this year to study archaeology and modern history, respectively, and about 50% of the remainder have gone on to Russell Group universities or Times Top 30. So particularly popular this year were University College London, London School of Economics, Durham and Exeter. And that's a fairly typical profile in terms of destinations for our young people. But what St Edmunds offers in the senior school is not purely about academic results. We feel that developing personal qualities, leadership and communication skills are equally as important. And we seek to achieve this through our co-curricular programme. In addition to outstanding provision in music, art, sport and drama, in fact we're famous locally for our provision in those areas, we also offer about 35 different co-curricular activities that take place at lunchtime or after school and range from the Combined Cadet Force to computer coding, from the Duke of Edinburgh Award to dance sessions. Whatever your child's interest or aptitude, we have the people here that can really develop them and build that enthusiasm. The end product is that St Edmunds pupils are assured without being arrogant. They are confident, effective communicators, team players and natural leaders. I'm always really proud on speech day every year when we say goodbye to the upper sixth. I walk around the entire group, look them in the eye, shake their hand in pre-COVID days, wish them every success, and I know that they're going to go on and be committed, socially responsible, successful young people. That's what we're seeking to do. Develop academic rigour, but also the individual qualities, the personal qualities that will enable them to go out to university and into the broader world and be successful.
Hello, my name is Matilda and I'm here to talk to you today about my St Edmunds experiences so far. I'm currently in Year 9, so I've been at the school for just over 3 years. However, I did attend the school before in pre-prep, but had to move away. Moving back into the area, I knew exactly what school I wanted to go to, and so I joined back in Year 7, eager to start my journey again as a St Edmunds pupil. Joining back to St Edmunds in Year 7 was very exciting. I'd always loved the school and how nurturing it was. Being a new pupil though, I was nervous. However, it was easy to make new friends and soon I felt right at home. Teachers at St Edmunds School are all extremely friendly and helpful, and since J.K. Rowling is one of my favourite authors, the line, "Help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who ask for it," makes me smile, as it reminds me very much of St Edmunds, because I know if I ever have a problem, I know help will always be at hand. I enjoy all the lessons I have. In each, everybody gets to contribute and get involved. My favourite lesson at the moment though is English. I love learning about how to make my writing more engaging and enticing.
From romance to tragedy, angels to devils and heroes to monsters, St Edmunds English offers something for everyone. As well as expressing yourself creatively, you'll learn to appreciate how others do so, identifying the tricks you yourself will come to master to lend your own verbal inventions form and purpose. As you approach your exams, you'll be supported through the clinic programme and you'll have the opportunity to attend tutorials. And if you love English like we do, then you'll also have the opportunity to attend masterclasses in which we take you off the beaten track to explore other aspects of language and literature. At the heart of all this is the unique rapport between pupil and teacher, the relationship we have so often seen open the door to success and a lifelong love of English and its literature.
Hi there, I'm James Clapp. I'm a teacher of biology here at St Edmunds. I've worked here for 12 years. I think for me one of the great things about science at St Edmunds is not only the small class sizes but the really caring staff who actually really know the pupils and can give them the time and the attention that they need to really thrive.
And I'm Eva Fernandez, I'm the head of chemistry here, and in addition to what James has said, I think I would also choose St Edmunds for all the extra activities that we do in science. So we've got very close links with Kent University. We take students there for work experience. We also go there for workshops and just to do some of our practicals with them. Biology has got residential trips as well, so it's a whole range of opportunities that you can have in the school.
In addition to teaching biology, I wear another hat. I'm also housemaster of Baker House. And like in science, one of the great things that we do is the close pastoral care and really getting to know the children here at St Edmunds and helping them to really become all that they can be.
Hi, my name is Cameron and I've been at St Edmunds for over 3 months now. Coming from an extremely small prep school to a large senior school was daunting for me. However, being in boarding helped me settle in well. I decided to board weekly at the start of the term and have never once regretted it. Making friends has been quite simple as everyone is extremely welcoming. Being in top set is quite difficult. Maintaining a high level of work consistently isn't easy. Despite this, the teachers here have always helped me if I've needed extra help and have supported me.
I've been at St Edmunds since year 7, so next year will mark my 7th year at the school. In all honesty though, I was so nervous when I first joined because I didn't know anyone in my year and I had no clue what it would be like. But thanks to the support systems in place, like the buddy system, the form system and the house system, it was so easy to make new friends. And by the end of the term, you couldn't tell who'd been there since year 5 and who'd just joined because we all got on so well with each other. The teachers were also really accommodating. So if I walked into the wrong room, they'd direct me to the right one with a smile, and if I had any gaps in my knowledge left over from primary school, they'd fill them in, no questions asked, which really helped me settle in quickly. At the moment for my A-levels, I'm studying French, Spanish, Latin and English literature, which are my favourite subjects, but at GCSE I also really enjoyed studying history, chemistry and maths. During my time at St Edmunds, I've been really lucky to have the opportunity to take part in so many extracurricular activities, my favourite of which being the sport. In the first 2 terms of each year, I've been a part of the hockey and netball teams and also tried my hand at tennis and basketball. Since year 9, I've been a part of the combined cadet force and the DAV programme, and more recently I joined the debating and public speaking teams. All of these have been such great experiences and have given me such key skills for the future. I also once tried drama, which I found wasn't for me, but I'm still so happy to have had that experience. Finally, I'd like to quickly mention the remote learning. Obviously, the whole world was so heavily hit by the coronavirus, especially schools, but I found the transition between in-person learning and remote learning relatively seamless for St Edmunds, thanks to the brilliant IT department. You could email a teacher with any query at any time and expect a quick reply, and the ability to record a webinar or a lesson was really helpful. All in all, I really hope your experience with St Edmunds is as wonderful as mine has been.
St Edmunds is famous for the quality of its co-curricular provision. In fact, I think at the moment we have about 40 different co-curricular activities running across the school. That isn't just about filling time, that's a philosophical decision. We believe education should be holistic and develop not just students' academic abilities in the classroom, but also their leadership and interpersonal skills, the so-called soft skills that will be so important when they get out into the real world. So over the next couple of minutes, you're going to hear presentations from our Director of Music, our Director of Drama, and our Director of Sport, talking about some of the amazing opportunities that are available in the co-curricular programme at St Edmunds.
Hello, I'm Spencer Payne, Director of Music here at St Edmunds School in Canterbury. The music staff and I would like to offer you a very warm welcome to the school. Music is a big part of the life of St Edmunds, and we are fortunate to have a well-equipped and versatile music school, set over 2 floors with generously equipped teaching facilities, music technology studios, 12 practice rooms and a recital hall. Importantly, music is taught by subject specialists throughout the school, from pre-prep, junior school and through to senior school, where the subject can be studied at GCSE, A-level and A-level music technology. We are also fortunate to have the Canterbury Cathedral choristers as part of our school, which further reinforces the uniqueness of this highly musical environment. Instrumental and vocal tuition is available to all on a wide variety of instruments to cater for all tastes and abilities, whether pupils are beginners or at diploma standard wishing to take their music to a higher level. Our pupils at this stage in their musical endeavours often move on to top universities or conservatoires. We also have affiliations and visits from well-renowned performers. The Tippett Quartet has been our quartet in residence for many years, and we have Ivor Novello award-winning saxophonist and composer John Harle as our visiting performance consultant. Most recently, the much-celebrated trumpeter Mike Lovat has joined our team as a brass consultant. Regular workshops and masterclasses are an integral part of the music diary, and for the last 3 years, St Edmunds has held its own festival at the end of the summer term, hosting performers including former pupil Freddie Kempf, violinist Tasmin Little and recording star Curtis Stigers. I'm very happy to meet or talk to prospective pupils and their parents at any time to see if we can help make their musical journey a reality.
We've got a really inclusive kind of ethos here. So there's something going on for everybody. So for example, this afternoon, Thursday afternoon is senior games afternoon. We've got squad team sports going on for football and hockey, but we've also got a fitness session going on that you can see behind us. We've got badminton in the sports hall. We've got pupils in the health and fitness suite. We've got some tennis going on. We've got a group that have gone to golf. We've got a group that have gone to horse riding. From the age of 3 up to the age of 18, we have regular sports lessons and co-curricular activities going on throughout the week, throughout the term. So we have a badminton club that's very well attended. We have a trampolining club. The children can use the health and fitness suite after school, and the sixth form can use that during the day when they have some free time. So we are very positive and encouraging. It doesn't matter what standard they're at, and we can talk about the outstanding elite sportsmen and women who might go on to play for a club, county, regional, national teams, and then you get those who are the more recreational players who just want to do it for fun. And whatever level you're at, that's absolutely fine. We will encourage that to be taken through into their life after school. We have 2 great courses running here. So in middle 5th and upper 5th, we have the Cambridge National Sports Science course, and in the 6th form we have the Cambridge Technicals Sport and Physical Activity Extended Certificate. And these are equivalent to a GCSE qualification and an A-level qualification. We do really punch above our weight. We're quite a small school, but we do really well in terms of sporting success. You see teamwork going on every day. You see good communication. You see pupils working together really strongly to achieve a common goal. And obviously, particularly for our elite sportsmen and women, teamwork is really important to achieve the results and success that they desire. We all work very hard, so we need to be fit for work, but it's also important for our mental health too. sport can make you happy. Sport and activity does make you happy. It releases endorphins, it releases adrenaline, but also it gives a chance for pupils to play together socially, recreationally, and also competitively, and you get that common bond between pupils to achieve success, but also just to play sport for fun. There's something going on for everybody.
Hello and welcome to the theatre here at St Edmund's School. I am Mark Sell and I am the Director of Drama. I'm extremely proud of my department. I'm proud because we offer the very best in dramatic teaching, right from Form 3 all the way up to the 6th form. We offer GCSE drama, GCSE dance and A-level drama. The standard of our work is recognised in the community, and every year we produce productions that are of the highest quality. It is our expectation that the children always perform to the very best of their ability. Just because they're kids, it doesn't mean that the standard has to drop. There are very many professional children all over the world that are working at the top of their game, so why can't we? In terms of co-curricular, I try not to have a set format. I try to sort of mix it up year on year, in that you're not just going to get the main school play, which is there, and then everything that we do at the festival, which is also there. But I might change my mind and just do a production for just senior school pupils or sixth form pupils, or I might want to work with the junior school, or I might want to do a whole school production, as we have done several times with things like Pan Rocks or The Brilliant Oliver. So, yeah, it's a wonderfully successful department. It has high standards and it has a brilliant team. And of course, the most important thing, the thing that I treasure most certainly, or we all do in the department, is, and we are known for this too, we are called the drama family. And that's kind of what we're like, not just the staff, but the kids as well. I'm extremely proud that year on year, both GCSE and A-level practical performances always score marks from our visiting examiners at the very top of the band. And that is testament to their hard work and our belief in them that they can actually achieve and be the very best they can.
Well, hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed that presentation about St Edmunds, and welcome to the live question and answer session. I'm going to invite three rather wonderful people to join us. Julia Exley, who's the head of our pre-prep, Andrew De Silva, who's the head of junior school, and with me in the office I have Andrea Strong, who's our admissions manager, who I know some of you will know already. So thank you to those of you who've been putting questions through to us already. There's still a bit of time. If you want to ask us a question, then please do so in the text box, and we'll endeavour to answer that for you in the next 15 minutes or so. But we've had a few questions come through already, so Mrs. Strong is going to steer them towards me, and then either I'll answer them or another member of the panel. So Andrea, over to you.
Thank you. So our first question this morning is about how the school promotes well-being.
Okay, so how the school promotes well-being. Well, I think obviously a very topical subject at the moment, given the circumstances that we're all having to deal with. I think the first thing I'd say is the school promotes well-being in every interaction between teacher and pupil to pupil as well. It's in our DNA as a school that our starting point is pastoral care, making sure our pupils feel strong, feel confident, feel happy in themselves, because then they can access everything that we offer. In terms of specifics, how do we deliver a wellbeing program? Well, we've heard a little bit about the co-curricular program previously, and we run mindfulness activities as well as outdoor education and sports activities designed to support and promote mental health. We also run a PSHEE program, personal social health
economic, that's the first E, education program, which contains well-being, addresses issues of mental health and so on. So that's delivered formally. We also have a peer listening program, so we encourage our pupils to support each other, and of course a pastoral team made up of housemasters, managed by the deputy head pastoral, I should say, in senior school, made up of housemasters, a medical centre that's on call 24/7, tutors, expert counsellors and so on site. So wellbeing is at the heart of what we do and at the heart of every interaction within the school. Let me pass over to Julia Exley to say a little bit about wellbeing approaches in pre-prep. Julia.
Thank you, Ed. We have very small classes in the pre-prep, which allows the staff to get to know the children really well. And we feel this is extremely important when you're looking after the child's welfare. We also get to know the families really well, because communication between home and school at this age group is extremely important, just to find out how they're feeling, whether they've had a bad night, whether there's anything going on at home or at school that might be affecting their well-being. We also encourage, so this week's been Children's Mental Health Week, so we've been doing some very mindful activities. We just wanted to sort of encourage the children to look for the joy in the world. So with my nursery class this week, we went on a walk on a beautiful sunny morning, and we found the first snowdrop, and we found some beautiful cyclamen flowers, which the children really enjoyed looking at. And I think it's important just to, especially at the moment, to enjoy those small moments of joy. With the PSHE program we have in the pre-prep, it also encourages the children to do circle time activities, so they have a chance to talk about their feelings in a very sort of gentle environment, and this is very good for their future development, I think, about being able to talk about their feelings.
Thanks, Julia. And now over to Andrew for junior school.
Just echoing everything that both Ed and Julia said, really, for us. It's such an important part of what we do. Ed said it is part of our DNA. And we can see that through the awe and wonder from the children's responses in their learning. And you can't evidence that type of thing. However, let me give you a go. So if we look at our assemblies during this remote learning time, every Monday is Monday Mindfulness, where we get the children, or we ask the children to take part in living in the moment and being in the moment. On Wednesdays, we have our growth mindset assemblies, where we ask the children to always add that most important word yet to everything that they do. And on Friday, they have to put up with seeing me. And I try as best as possible to encourage them to be the best versions of themselves. So in terms of our wellbeing provision, it's very much what has been said by the other two heads. But also, in addition to that, and similarly to the other parts of the school, it's our curriculum. And our curriculum is stimulated, of course, by the excellent relationships that the adults have in the setting, where they know the children. Julia's mentioned we're small enough to, in terms of the class sizes, we're small enough to really know the children, as I said in the presentation bit earlier. And because of those small relationships, we have those robust links with the children and also with you as parents. I think that's it from me, Ed.
Thanks, Andrew. I hope that answered the question. So this one's just come in, I think, but it's one that's perhaps relevant for everyone, about the structure of the day, I think.
Yes, so more about the structure of the day in each of our schools and how long the school day is as well, please.
Yeah, sure. So should we start with you, Julia, in pre-prep and kind of go through chronologically, as it were?
Yep, okay. So the morning starts, well, the usual time for a morning, we're going to go as normal, not COVID times, would be 8:30 in the morning until 3:30. So that's a normal school day. But we also have early start, which will start at, or can start at 7:30 with breakfast, and then 8 o'clock if you don't want breakfast. And then after school, we have late stay until 6 o'clock, so 3:30 to 6 o'clock. These sessions are run by the school, so the children know the staff, and they really enjoy their time in those activities. During the day, we will perhaps start with an assembly, then the children will have their work time, then we all have playtime together at 10 to 10:30, and then we have more activity or work time, and then we will have lunch. We have a cooked lunch, which is cooked on site and is very delicious, and we all eat that together in sort of family groups.
And then after lunch, we have a lovely playtime in our beautiful garden. And then we come back into more activities in the afternoon. We also have PE sessions run by Mrs. Millard, who you saw in the presentation earlier. We have French with a junior school French teacher who will come over and talk to us. And we have music lessons by a specialist music teacher. So those are dotted around during the week. We also try to be outside as much as we can. So our reception teacher is forest school trained. So she does proper forest school sessions, and the rest of us do very similar but outdoor learning sessions. Is that enough, Ed? Is that okay?
That's great, thank you. Very thorough. It's much more than I've got to say, so well done. That's great. Andrew, over to you in junior school.
I'm glad you said that, Ed, because I haven't got as much as Julia on that one either. Although it does sound awesome, and I'm lucky because my son is with Julia in pre-prep, so I can vouch as a parent that it is rather awesome. Anyway, so here's my shorter answer. So we start between 8 and 8:30, depending on the year groups, but there is normally a provision. I say normally because I started in September, so I'm yet to experience normal. So take my word for it on that one, please. And then at the end of the day, Form 3 to Form 5, so lower school, finish at 3:30, but they have a prep session between 3:30 and 4. And then upper school would finish at about 4:30. But of course, that's when our co-curricular package really kicks off, especially on Wednesdays when there are games afternoons. I'm yet to experience that, so hopefully your child and I can experience that together. That's it from me, sir.
Thanks, Andrew. And then in terms of senior school, the timings of the day, pupils start arriving, day pupils, from about 8 o'clock. The formal day starts at 8:30 with registration in the houses, and that's a really important pastoral moment in the school day where housemasters interact directly with students. Then, like the other schools, there's some kind of assembly that goes on between 8:30 and 9, either a heads assembly, which is me, or a house assembly, or a chapel. We do 2 chapels a week. And then lessons would start at 9, and we do 1-hour lessons in blocks of 2. So you do 2 lessons, then a break, 2 lessons, then lunch, 2 lessons, then the end of the day, which is at 4:30. But it's usual actually that there's some kind of activity or rehearsal or sports training. So for example, I noticed there's a question about sport coming, we'll deal with it, but we do after school sports training sessions in football with Chelsea Football Club, for example, and they will probably go on till about 5:30. And then students can stay on site in our school library with supervision until 7. So the key times within the day, really, the formal school day is 8:30 to 4:30 in senior school. Okay, I hope that answers that one. Loads of questions coming in. Thank you. It's brilliant. It's very helpful to have lots of questions. So what's the next one, Andrea?
So the next question is about the pastoral care that we offer our day pupils, and also how do we integrate new pupils into the school with their peers.
Okay, so pastoral care for pupils, day pupils, and then integration of new pupils. Julia, are you happy to start with that one? If we go through again 3 to 18, as it were.
Yep. If I start with the integration of new pupils, so we would normally do taster sessions where the children can come in and get to know us and we get to know them. And then when offered a place, that they would have some settling in sessions. These are very important, especially for the youngest children, just to get used to the environment that they're going to be in and to make some friendships with some of the children and the staff, so they feel comfortable when they come in. This we find really helps with the sort of pastoral side as well, because they don't feel quite so nervous when they come in for their first day. They will, on the first few days, obviously they will be looked after very carefully. Often they will be given a buddy within the class who can help them know where the things are and help them with the routines. And obviously the staff will keep a close eye on them to make sure that they're happy with everything that's going on and that they know where everything is. Pastoral times, obviously the classes are with a class teacher, so the class teacher will talk to the children and the class and individuals about their needs. We also set up some classroom rules, which we find helps really well with understanding the expectations of behaviour within the class. We do have a Senko who's extremely well trained, and if there any need arises, whether it's just to do with friendship issues or perhaps some some maybe a bereavement or something, that she is extremely well qualified to look after them and talk to them and just support them if necessary.
Thanks, Julia. Andrew.
Thank you. I'll take a leaf out of Julia's book, and I'll start with pastoral. Now, we're very, very lucky in the junior school where we have Mrs. French, who is our head of pastoral care. And if we look at this remote learning time, she is organising lots of one-to-ones and lots of hot chocolate and chat and hot chocolate and story times with the children to pastorally make sure that they are okay in these interesting times. And the good news is, because of her, they really are. But let's think normally. Well, as I said, we have those small class sizes, which means that the class teacher and indeed the form tutor in years 7 and 8 will be there to support your child at any point that they need. Now, I know you're going to say, and rightly, you're going to think, well, how are they going to do that when they are teaching? Well, that's a really difficult thing to try and explain and to quantify. It's about what Ed said in terms of DNA. They make it work. So let's now move on to the bit about children joining us from other schools. And I won't give any names away, but we had a new child join us a couple of weeks ago. And by the end of the day, you couldn't tell that she was new to the school. And that's amazing. And that, I've got to be honest with you, is the thing that I've been most impressed with since I've joined this school. How quickly new children are completely assimilated for all the rights and all the wrongs that may well be, but all the fun that they're going to have. That is a unique thing that I've seen at St Edmunds. Now, of course, we have the buddy bits that Julia mentioned, absolutely, but it's because of that, the thing which I mentioned, those quality relationships, and that is definitely in our DNA.
I've just noticed, it's pure coincidence, by the way, that there's a DNA model in the background. I've just noticed it. We've talked about DNA repeatedly. The reason that's there is my dad was a scientist who studied DNA, so that is there to remind me of him. But it's pure coincidence that we've all mentioned it. Apologies, we're not that well organised that that we would have a theme like that. In terms of pastoral care in the senior school, it's set up slightly differently. So we have a deputy head pastoral, Mrs. Shearer, who oversees our pastoral provision. But the key pastoral contacts really are the 4 housemasters. So they are responsible for the well-being, the pastoral development of the pupils in their care, and they're supported by a team of form tutors to deliver that. We also, of course, across the 3 to 18 school have a safeguarding team, which is headed by our designated safeguarding lead, Mr. Underwood. And actually, I think as small schools go, we have a remarkably high number of trained designated safeguarding leads. So the heads are all trained to the same level as the DSL, as are a number of other staff. So there's a very strong safeguarding culture here too. And I would also, of course, mention the school chaplain and medical centre, who also provide 3 to 18 pastoral care as well. And sometimes I think with delicate issues, the students may feel more comfortable initially going to talk to one of the nurses or the chaplain than someone that teaches them. So there's a range of options there for our students to go to. And then in terms of integration of new pupils, we've covered most of them. I think there are similarities across the 3 schools, but the integration really begins before they even come to the school, as Julia said, with taste the days. In senior school, we run an induction, I think actually all 3 schools run an induction program for new pupils too. We run a buddy system, and there are ongoing peer support and peer listening programs as well to help that integration. So as Andrew said, I think it's something that we do very well. It took my daughters in junior school when they joined 2 days, I would say, and then they completely forgotten about their previous school, and they were part of the St Edmunds systems, I think. So next one, Andrea.
So we've had a few questions about sport. What competitive sports do we play at St Edmunds, and things like football leagues?
Okay, so yeah, sport's really important. So I'll start with this one. Sport's really important to us at St Edmunds. It's hard to believe looking at me now, but
I loved my sport as I was when I was a young pupil, and so it's very close to my heart and what I want for St Edmunds. I think what our sports staff do really well is combine the pursuit of excellence with an inclusive approach. So I think if the head of sport was on the call today, she would say principally it's about inclusion. We want to get as many pupils enjoying sport and actively participating in sport as possible. And that doesn't necessarily have to be football or netball or hockey, one of our key competitive sports, and I'll come back to that. But it may well be badminton, it may be squash, it may be trampolining. Whatever it is that inspires them, they find a sport that helps with their fitness, their well-being, and that they enjoy, that they can do with their friends. I think that's the starting point. However, in terms of competitive sports, I think our main sports would be for boys football, hockey and cricket, and we compete in all sorts of local competitions, local Canterbury leagues. We take on the state schools as well as local independent schools. We play fixtures every year against Eton, block fixtures against Eton and Charterhouse as well. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a partnership with Chelsea Football Club, their development programme. We have development coaches from Chelsea here twice a week. Hockey, again, very competitive. Our first 11 is a match for anyone locally, both boys and girls. And in terms of cricket for boys, we have an amazing record in cricket of producing outstanding young players. Two of our pupils who left last year are already on professional contracts, one in England, one in Australia, which is really exciting. And then in terms of girls sport, netball, so really strong netball provision, hockey in the first term, and our master in charge of hockey, Dickon Stubbings, is a former England age group player, under 21, under 25, I think, and he's also the first team coach at Ashford. And we have a great relationship with Polo Farm hockey provision, and lots of their first team players, internationals, come and run masterclasses at St Edmunds. And in the summer term for boys and girls, tennis, we play loads of competitive fixtures in tennis. We have some amazing athletes as well, so some of the top middle distance and cross-country runners in the country, 2 or 3 in recent years have gone through. But then we have all kinds of other sports as well. We play competitive matches in badminton, in squash, basketball as well, in normal circumstances. So I think that gives you the overall picture. But Julie, would you like to say a little bit about pre-prep, and then Andrew for junior school?
Yeah, in pre-prep we're very lucky to have Mrs. Millard, Helena Millard, who does the PE throughout the whole school. She's a wonderful teacher, especially with the little ones, and she at this age group will be developing all their skills, so their sort of kicking skills, their hockey skills, their throwing and catching skills, and although we don't play sort of competitive matches at this age group, the children are extremely competitive, and strive to be the best that they can in the different sporting activities. But again, it's very inclusive. Some children will have skills in certain areas, so they also work on gymnastics, they do fitness. We encourage them to be running around a lot at playtime, which they do and they love. And obviously we've got the full site that we can use. The pre-prep children love to go on the Astro pitch and into the big sports hall, because that gives them so much space to run around in and to play in. On one of the clips at the beginning, you saw the pre-prep children going to Polo Farm to practice their hockey skills, and they do this each term when we're allowed, which they really, really enjoy and develops their skill a lot. We also have some slightly smaller sporting activities. We have some archery boards, which the children really enjoy, especially in the club that we run. And we also do martial arts as well. Okay.
Thanks. Andrew, junior school sport.
Julia, I take your martial arts and I raise you lightsaber club. Anyway, but that's not for this forum. Anyway, parents, Mr. O'Connor taught about the elite provision in terms of the sports that we offer, and that's the same for the junior school. I would also like to add that, of course, that both in the senior school and the junior school, we have our scholarship program, where our elite sports men and women can apply for a scholarship. And of course, whilst there may well be a monetary sum attached to that, the main part of that scholarship is the bespoke teaching and learning that they're going to get in addition to what they would get from everything Julia and Ed said. So that might be strength and conditioning sessions in the gym, which sounds painful to me, but to the children and to the sports department, they desperately love it. And so in terms of the elite provision, hopefully you've got a sense of that. But I just want to add to that, there's one thing that COVID, one blessing from this situation, or rather for me personally, Mr. O'Connor told me when I got the job here that there's a swimming gala, or rather swimming galas, where there's a tradition where the head gets thrown into the swimming pool. So, you know, I'm not, of course, COVID is absolutely terrible, but that's my one silver lining in this whole bit. But just to re-echo, really, using the swimming pool, whilst I won't be getting in my swimming kit or being pushed in, we also run triathlon competitions. So that sense of trying to challenge the children, this is definitely not a school which will keep children purely in their comfort zone. We want to stretch. But of course, as Helena Millard said in the video, we are inclusive. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm conscious of time. We're running up against the hour. We've got loads of questions. We're just going to do a quick fire round now, just to put you all under pressure, Julia and Andrew. So I think the first one is for Julia.
And it's about the forest school and outdoor learning provision in the pre-prep school, please.
Julia.
Okay, as I said earlier, Mrs. George, our reception teacher, is forest school trained, so she does the full-on sessions down at our pre-prep forest school site. But within the whole school, we have 3 sites. We have the pre-prep site, we have a junior site, which is next to a fantastic pond and has beautiful views, and we also have the senior school site, which also has a giant teepee on it. Now in the pre-prep, we're very lucky. We just wander around and use all of those sites, and the children really, really enjoy it. In Dragonflies, they also do a sort of concentrated week in the summer when they will be going out, hopefully, to different sites locally and using the school site. So they sort of concentrate theirs together, whereas the rest of us spread it out over the year.
Thank you, Julia. And one for Andrew, quick fire.
Why move to another junior school rather than the usual Year 7 senior school, please?
Really good question. Why not, really? When we think about Year 7 and 8, and I'll be really quick on this one, when you think about Year 7 and 8, Ofsted and the government have recognised that Year 7 and 8 are seen as the wasted years, because whilst I can't comment on schools locally, because schools tend to put their best teachers in the accountability year groups. But of course, not here at St Edmunds. In Year 7 and 8, our children get an elite provision using all the resources from the whole school. But importantly, and even more importantly than education, we cherish the childhood. You know, I would play Go-Jetters with a Year 3, Avengers with Year 4, and then go and play Avengers with a Year 8 child. We too often want our children to grow up before they are ready to. And it's really important that we cherish that childhood, because they're only going to get one opportunity at this.
Brilliant. Thank you. And I think there's a quick one for me, and then I'll wrap things up.
Yes, the last one that we're going to answer today is about how many pupils move from our junior school Year 8 into our senior school Year 9, please.
Okay, so how many move through from junior school to senior school each year? The answer is almost all of them. So in a typical Year 8 year group of, let's say, 48 pupils, I would expect 42, 43 to come through, progress naturally into the senior school. There's always 1 or 2 pupils, sadly, that move on, or families relocate, or 1 or 2 who might move to grammar school, which I know is an option that is available, of course, to families in Kent. But the vast majority of students will naturally progress through to Year 9. So as I say, I can't do the percentages, but 42, 43 out of 48. And there's no exam process associated with that. Students progress through naturally. Okay, we're going to have to stop the questions there. I think we say goodbye to Mr. De Silva and Mrs. Exley at this point. Thank you both for your contributions, greatly appreciated. And then finally from me, 20 seconds just to say thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate the interest that you've shown in the school. I think we've had about 40 families registered today, which is fantastic. I hope that the presentation gave you a flavour of the ethos of the school, but also the different personalities that the students work with, and you've heard some of the authentic voices of St Edmunds. It is a wonderful school. It's incredibly welcoming. I suppose the best evidence I can give for that on a personal basis is it's been transformative for my 2 daughters being here. One is now in sixth form, one is in year 10. It's been a phenomenal experience for them. And on a personal note, I can't really imagine working anywhere else now. St Edmunds gets under your skin. It has that lovely family ethos that both other heads have mentioned. And I wrote down earlier Julia's phrase about an approach to education that celebrates joy in the world. And I think that's a lovely way perhaps to finish. That summarises what we're about as a school, I think. Thank you for your time. I think a slide will come up shortly with contact details if you would like to hear a bit more about St Edmunds, and in non-COVID times, hopefully we're moving through all of that now, a chance to perhaps come and visit the school and meet us in person. So thank you so much for attending today. I hope you found it useful and enjoyable. Enjoy your weekend and stay safe, of course. Goodbye.